Hallo, herzlich willkommen zur 22. Folge von Suzerain zusammen mit Apfel.
Hallo.
Heute haben wir Budget Allocation. I pre was? The preparation, mein Gott, of the
Preparation.
government's budget were finished. Most of the cabinet gathered in the White Room uh, for the important occasion. Oh Gott, Alter. Nearly half a year had passed since my
Eieiei.
inauguration. The cabinet looked overworked. Welcome everybody, great to see you.
Hello.
Mr. President? Sadly, Peter Vector and Gus Mosher and David Risky won't be attending this meeting. They are working on the upcoming trade agreements with Welland and Agnolia.
May the Lord be with them.
Chiara gave a barely disguised eye roll.
Did you just roll your eyes at me, young lady? War ich, oder?
Ja.
If I did, it's because religion has no place at a government budget meeting. True. I was merely expressing my wishes for a successful trade deal. Freedom of expression must be protected at all costs. Must it not? God fucking damn it. Must it not, Miss Morgner? Actually, in this case, I agree with hier Miss Waller. Wait a minute. War das nicht das, wo wir gedacht haben zwischen den zwei Iswas?
Kann sein, dass wir das gedacht haben. Chiara
Stimmt,
flashed
wie
her an
gedacht.
appreciative smile.
Ja, wie gedacht, ob so mal was Gutes für unsere Nation war, glaube ich mal nicht. According to Scotland's laws regarding the separation of church and state, my God,
She
Alter.
broke off as she noticed that Simon, Lucian, and Joseph were looking at the three female ministers in stony silence. Ladies, let's leave the
Geil.
extraneous chit-chat for afternoon tea. Oh Gott.
Die ganze Situation ist schon wieder geil.
Don't comment. Simon started loudly shuffling some documents around. All eyes turned to the Minister of Economy. Thanks to Simon's expertise, I'm sure we will achieve lots of great things today. Yeah, let's begin, Mr. Hull.
Gladly. Today is a big day. We must prioritize our spending wisely in order to achieve the goals we set as a government.
Oh. While maintaining enough political support, if I may add promises, were made during the election. Mein Gott, warum drücke ich?
Wait. Ach, zwei Nachrichten schon. There are three options regarding the budgeting of the four main branches of the government. It's either we increase, maintain, or decrease the funding. Achso, ja gut, ich bin dumm. Increasing will result in an improvement of the branch, which will unlock new policy options. Maintaining will keep the funding, resulting in no visible change. Decreasing cause a loss of efficiency in the branch.
Can we rely on the private sector to support us?
Yeah. I'm sure we can do that to a certain extent in some branches, like education and health, or no. Our universal healthcare system must be protected and not be tainted by private greed or interest.
We need to be considerate when making such grand choices that have ripple effects.
We have to be careful as to what we fund so we have resources remaining for another investment project. 2 ist nicht ganz falsch, ne?
Ja.
As much as we realistically can. If we fail at improving our economy, the promises don't mean much in the big picture. God damn it. Before we begin our discussion, there's one more thing that I want to voice my opinion on. Willst du schon wieder 2?
Ja.
As we manage the government budget, we are obviously able to go into debt to invest in different branches. Although debt is a possibility, under these circumstances it would dent our financial system, worsening the economic crisis if we push it too far.
A point from me as well to everyone. A point from me as well to everyone before the discussion. Given the current state of the country, the economic situation is a political priority right now, more so than ever.
This budget will also be applicable to our entire term. It is very critical that we plan correctly. Let's begin then. Which branch should we discuss first? Ach du Heilige.
Healthcare. Our healthcare system invests and provides free services to most of our citizens. However, the quality of our health services is far worse in low-income and rural areas. Therefore, I think that we should receive more funding to address this disparity.
I agree. I have recently begun an investigation into healthcare in Nabel, and the numbers are not good.
If we don't increase spending on health services, we at least need to maintain it. Otherwise, we're putting lives at risk. We have to start a new analysis on what would happen if a pandemic struck Scotland. According to the results, if our healthcare facilities remain in their current state, the death toll would be unimaginable. I'm not even talking about the damage to the economy. This is a matter of life or death, Mr. President, and it should be treated as such. That is indeed worrying. We should try to fix whatever we can as the government. Right.
Ja.
Ja, Law Enforcement. Keine Ahnung, was. Ja, das ist sie.
Yeah. I would like to have an increase in the funding of law enforcement to increase the size of the police force and raise salaries. We have so many internal threats to tackle, and I'm already stretching my units far too thin with the limited resources allocated to me.
Nia cleared her throat.
Law enforcement is certainly a high priority. However, I feel tackling internal corruption is of far higher importance than increasing our police presence. Directing the funds to my department would solve the problem at its root. If corruption is still rampant, all the police in the world won't help us. We need a specialized anti-corruption police unit, which we could create if the funds were directed to me. I agree with Ms. Mogner. We should not revert a structure that is responsible for an ever-increasing number of human rights violations. Additionally, corruption is the reason of our government inefficiencies. It needs to be tackled. The police are there to serve and protect the people of Scotland. Ms. Walder, and that is exactly what we are doing. More funding will allow us to take care of our police forces. It is quite a simple choice, given the current status of the country.
Ja, Valia.
Ja, definitiv.
It's
Jetzt
time
geht's
to hear the
lustig.
options on the military. What is there to hear about? I already voiced my opinion. Rumble is coming whether we like it or not. If not this year, next year. If not next year, the year after that. Mr. President, you and I have a shared responsibility to protect this nation from its enemies, and I intend to do so until my last breath. I will say this with certainty. If Rambok doesn't make a move against Scotland in 2 or 3 years, my name is not Joseph Lancia. Joseph was beginning to lose control of the volume of his voice. 9. There can be no argument against increasing the budget for our army when there is an enemy on our doorstep waiting for us to make one wrong move. Anyone who thinks otherwise is a fool. Mr. Lancia? Right, pardon. My theatrics, sir. But this is a serious matter. The future of our country is up to you, Mr. President.
Well, here's an argument. The armed forces does nothing but eat away financial resources destined for our people while stoking fears for an upcoming war. The issues with Rumble can be solved diplomatically. What kind of a message are we sending to them and the whole world if we suddenly start ramping up our military budget? Die nicht wissen. That we are ready to defend our nation, Miss Wilder.
Yeah, exactly. One of the reasons our government was elected was because we promised that we are going to focus on the military during our campaign. I agree with Joseph. Rambok is a real threat and we need to be ready.
Yeah.
What about education?
Our education system is lacking, not only in funding but also modern curricular principles. Our outdated curriculum is wasting our youth. That is the reason why I advocate two things. An increase of the budget to improve access to education in rural areas and a new education reform. To be honest, Scotland is lacking compared to Acacia and United Container when it comes to education levels. The backbone of any country is its people, and we need to protect our future. Bei United Container stelle ich mir immer so einen amerikanischen Bundesstaat vorgefühlt.
Achso.
Was halt einfach Kommis sind. We need to ensure the new generation is as well educated as their counterparts in more modern countries. Nonsense. Scotland is still here because of this very system that you insult. How can you insult a system that teaches our sons and daughters the principles of national identity and pride? We won't be compared to other countries. Scotland is Scotland.
I agree with Lalia. Scotland is Scotland.
Der Fall, ne?
Lalia is right. We will pave our own path. We didn't get this far by imitating Acacia or United Container. Ja, 1.
Ja.
Oder 3. 1.
Very good talking points from everyone. Well then. The time to make a decision on the budget has come. Consider it with care, Mr. President. Ja, wir haben
Simon
das
placed a stack of papers on my table. Health. Maintain. Education. Maintain.
Eigentlich müssen wir Tempo increasen, weil das ist uns... Geil! Die hätten uns ein bisschen mehr Budget geben können eigentlich zum Start dieses Games. Es scheint mir immer ein bisschen wenig zu sein.
Wofür haben wir die 2 eigentlich auch für die Zugstrecke? Ja, hoffentlich payt sich die aus.
Ah, ja, hoffentlich, Digga. Unsere Economy stirbt.
I had finished allocating the government budget to the satisfaction of some cabinet members, and the dismay of others. They and I knew this would define a significant part of our term.
It looks like we have a balanced budget with no deficit or surplus. Not bad at all.
Agreed. Well then, let's start with the law enforcement.
Ja.
Müssen wir nochmal alle durchgehen? Alia leaned forward and put her hand on the chin. Nia was looking down at the floor.
I suppose we'll have to make do with what we have. This is not the best situation for us.
Sorry, wir haben kein Geld.
Ja, jetzt sind wir bei 0. I'm not sure what we'll be able to do if the budget doesn't change. Ja, wo willst du das Geld hernehmen?
Any statement on the matter, sir?
Wir haben kein Geld.
The continuation of the existing set of budgetary conditions is in order. Yeah, I trust to push the Ministry of Interior and Justice forward.
Our efforts will be on maintaining order with what we have. Here I was thinking that the Iranian administration would be on the side of law and justice.
Schnauze. Let's hear the Minister of Education.
Keeping the same budget will just result in the same problems. However, I prefer this over a decrease. I will try to reform the system with my own resources.
Good so.
Our future depends on our children. Education is the first step in the fight against ignorance.
Your expertise and passion should enable you to make the necessary change for improvement.
Ja, 1. Thank you for your confidence in me, but without extra funding, we'll have to make sacrifices, and our system will see the consequences.
The military is next. Kara clearly wasn't finished, but didn't interject. Joseph chimed in. It is an honor to serve with a president that respects the military. Trust me, with these fundings, our armed forces will be better than ever before. You have kept our promise to focus on the military. And honorable and fitting decisions. Lucian seemed as he was about to say something, but looked down at the notepad when Joseph eyed him. The military is on the top of my priority list, and always will be. Rest assured. With your talent and experience, you will overcome the issues of our military faith.
Ja.
With the support you have provided, I will protect this country from any threat. Joseph leaned back in his chair.
Let's hear from Mr. Bennywall.
I can say that maintaining the funding is negative, but I don't think our services will perform any better.
Welfare must remain a priority for our term. There's no other way around it.
Let's wrap it up.
Ja.
Let's? Was?
Ja, passt schon so.
Das hört sich aber dumm an.
Ja,
let us, ja, let's, nee.
Ja, ist eigentlich echt dumm von denen, aber ja, können wir nichts ändern. That covers all branches. Each minister will approach you with their respective policy requests and expectations over the next year.
Thank you for your time and participation in this significant moment. The meeting is concluded. 2.
1 oder 2? Okay, 2.
The ministers bid their farewells, some excitedly, others dejectedly. The cabinet slowly dispersed out of the White Room. The budget for our term was concluded.
Huiuiui.
Okay, wir haben wieder Continue. Gut, dann war's es aber
Oh.
mit der Folge. Lasst doch ein Like und ein Abo, wenn es euch gefallen hat. Schaut beim nächsten Mal vorbei und tschüss.
Tschüss.